We now know the date of when exactly Rockstar Games has to tell us the fate of Grand Theft Auto 6. Will it be staying and arriving in fall 2025, or will it be delayed? We'll be talking about when that is and more all in this video today. So the craziest part about all of this, and I don't think Take-Two Interactive timed this on purpose, it's been 500 days since the first Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer arrived. What a crazy 24 hours that was. We obviously had the lead up and the build up to it, because Rockstar had announced days before when exactly it was going to be coming out. And we also knew that so many thousands of people were waiting for it to be dropped thanks to the YouTube Premiere feature, which might have actually been one of the reasons why it leaked, and the sort of access to the back end like that. And then, of course, having it leak early, Rockstar having to sort of shift and focus their plans around a different sort of reveal tactic. But nevertheless, it's one of the most successful trailers of all time. As things currently stand, it has over 250 million views, 250 million, which is absolutely insane. And again, it took only 500 days to achieve those numbers, which is crazy. And again, it makes you wonder what the second trailer will end up doing in terms of numbers, what it will be about. Will it more focus on Jason? Will it more focus on the world of Vice City and the state of Leonida versus sort of Lucia and her backstory? So many questions yet to answer, and I actually think we have a pretty good idea of when we'll be able to hear from Rockstar Games next, and that is because their parent company, Take-Two Interactive, has made a huge announcement. So they announced this earlier today: Take-Two Interactive Software Inc. to report fourth quarter and fiscal year 2025 results on Thursday, May 15th, 2025. Going on to say, Take-Two Interactive Software Inc. today announced that it has plans to report financial results for its fourth quarter and fiscal year 2025, which ended March 31st, 2025, after the markets close on Thursday, May 15th, 2025. The company plans to hold a conference call to discuss its results at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which can be accessed by dialing these phone numbers. A live listen-only webcast and replay of the call will be available at Take-Two Interactive's website. So that right there is the day. That is the deadline for Rockstar Games, because on that earnings call, Take-Two Interactive is legally obligated to provide an update on when Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be coming out. They can no longer say calendar year 2025. They can no longer say fall of 2025. They're going to have to provide an update. And that update is going to have to either be exactly when the game is going to be coming out, like October 28th or November 11th or whatever the case might be, or they will have to say the game has been pushed back and ultimately delayed into 2026. Now, the reason this sets a deadline for Rockstar is because typically Take-Two Interactive will not talk about news related to Rockstar Games or their titles unless it comes directly from them. And I think whether it's good news or bad news in terms of the game staying in 2025 or being pushed back, I don't think that's news that Take-Two Interactive wants to break on their earnings call. That's something we would have to hear straight hand from Rockstar Games. So really, we are less than 30 days away from getting an update on Grand Theft Auto 6. And I know that sounds wild because it's been 500 days since they've talked about it last, but we are literally in the last 30 days of silence here. We're gonna know something. And we just hope that that something is good news, and we also hope that that something comes along with some other things about the game, whether it be screenshots, whether it be a second trailer, whether it be, again, just more information about Vice City, the world of Leonida, our two main characters, Jason and Lucia, what their story is. We're really, really close to that date officially happening. And again, this is something I kind of touched on in my video the other day, how because Rockstar Games uploaded that trailer for Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online being available on PC and a enhanced version available on Game Pass, they've essentially cleared the deck. They have nothing more to talk about other than Grand Theft Auto 6. Of course, they do have random things to discuss, like, for example, the thing they talked about earlier today was some bonuses for Grand Theft Auto Online, all surrounding sort of 420 and the holiday that's happening in the next couple of days. And so, of course, all the bonuses, discounts, sales, and more in Grand Theft Auto Online have to do with either Lamar or the weed businesses. So it's certainly a fun week in Grand Theft Auto Online, and that's sort of the stuff that I'm talking about. Rockstar Games will indeed sort of still do stuff like that. They might even mention Red Dead Online again. But as far as the big announcements go, Rockstar Games has nothing else to talk about other than Grand Theft Auto 6.
Now let's start by quickly talking about the release date timeline for GTA 6. Now, on recent interviews, Rockstar Games CEO Strauss Zelnick did say that the fall 2025 release window is still on track. So that means that GTA 6 could be released somewhere in the span of October, November, or possibly early December of this year. Now, Strauss Zelnick did say in one of the interviews that there's always a quote risk of slippage. However, they seem to be pretty confident that GTA 6 will in fact be releasing later this year. Now, the specific release date is not known at the moment. However, I personally speculate that the release date will be revealed alongside Trailer 2, whenever that is. Now, when asked about Trailer 2, the CEO of Rockstar Games did point out that they're taking a different approach when it comes to the release cycle for GTA 6. Previously, with other GTA games and other Rockstar games in general, they usually release quite a few trailers before the actual release of the game to build up hype and, of course, get pre-orders. However, with GTA 6, they're taking a more cautious approach, primarily because the hype for the game is already so high. And over the past couple of years, we have seen a lot of AAA games that have had so much hype behind them before their release, and they were so hyped up that when they released, no one was happy because the hype was simply through the roof and frankly unreasonable. So Rockstar Games is trying to avoid this with GTA 6 by taking a more cautious approach, and I personally believe that is the reason why Rockstar Games has not released Trailer 2 just yet. Rockstar Games CEO Strauss Zelnick did say that they will be releasing more content closer to the release, however, he didn't specify when exactly that would be. At the end of the day, Rockstar Games does need to launch some advertising and some marketing. Of course, they're likely going to include pre-orders as part of the campaign, so that should be launching sometime within the next couple of months because, as we talked about earlier, the release is still slated for the fall of this year. Now, in terms of the game itself, based on what we know right now, GTA 6 is pretty much nearly complete. It's in what's known as a gold state, which means that the game and all of the primary elements are nearly finished. There is some work likely going on when it comes to bug fixes and small improvements, but the primary bulk of the game is likely complete and ready to go. Now, the reason I mention this is because GTA 6 is going to be a massive game. As we've talked about in my previous videos, the map is about 2 times the size of GTA 5, and it's going to contain some new elements, primarily the new map, which is not going to be a singular city like we've seen with other GTA games, but rather an entire state. The state of Leonida, which is based on the state of Florida, with Vice City inside it and a few other cities scattered around the map. It's going to be the first GTA game based on an entire state rather than an individual city like we've seen in GTA 5. Add on top of that the improved graphics, the new wanted system, which allegedly is going to be incredibly accurate and realistic, as well as a really awesome story mode that contains 2 characters, Jason and Lucia, which is inspired by the Bonnie and Clyde story. There is a lot to look forward to in GTA 6, and that is not even touching GTA 6 Online, which will likely launch about a month after the initial release of the game. So in short, the silence that we have heard the past couple of months and quite frankly over the past year plus is on purpose. Rockstar Games is really trying to control the hype for GTA 6, and if you really think about it, if they were to release a trailer right now, today, there would be even more hype for the game, and quite frankly, GTA 6, if we're being realistic, doesn't really need it. So the release date is still set for later this year. That is the most important part. And I do hope that we do get that trailer 2 release sometime soon, which should give us a better look in terms of the graphics, any improvements that Rockstar has done over the past year plus to the game itself, and of course give us more context into the storyline of GTA 6 for anyone that is interested in playing the story mode campaign.